Catskill Avenue Elementary presents our Monday morning assembly. Today is Monday, October 12, 2020. If you'd like to participate in the Pledge of Allegiance, please stand up. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We continue to honor National Hispanic Heritage Month. The month of October is Filipino American History Month. Pink is the color for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Tomorrow afternoon, there is a school site council meeting. All are welcome to attend. LAUSD provides free COVID-19 testing at Carnegie Middle School. You must sign up for an appointment this week to take a test at Carnegie Middle School. Please check out achieve.lausd.net/COVID testing APPT for all the latest information about the COVID-19 testing program here at LA Unified. At 8 o'clock in the morning on Thursday, we have Coffee with the Principal. Don't forget that tonight there is a parent information meeting for Girl Scouts. Boys and girls, you can participate in the bookmark contest sponsored by the Los Angeles County Public Library. Students, you can also participate in the annual Community Art Show sponsored by the Palos Verdes Public Library. The City of Carson is recognizing Clean Environment Week. The City of Carson is having an electronic waste and recycling paper shredding event at the Carson City Hall parking lot on Saturday, October 17th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Staff and parents, let's also celebrate Vote Early Day on October 24th. Please check out our websites at catskillcougars.org or you can go on Class Dojo.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Jensen, and I'm proud to serve as Catskills Intervention Support Coordinator and Instructional Coach. This is my 34th year with LA Unified. I came to Catskill in 2003 to work with teachers, and in 2009 I began teaching reading intervention to students in all grades, K-5. I followed in my grandmother's footsteps. She was a reading specialist with LA Unified, and she taught me to love reading. Teaching students how to read is one of the greatest joys of my life. I work very hard to give each student the best instruction that I can to fit their specific needs. Our program is all about strategies. Strategies are tools students use to figure out new words, spell, and comprehend what they read. I expect all of my students to use many different skills and strategies as they learn to read more and more challenging books. I also love art, photography, and graphic design. One of my favorite things to do is to take pictures of all the special events here at Catskill, such as the championship softball games, multicultural programs, and chorus performances. I also enjoy designing signs for my classroom and for our school. Students, I miss you so much. Continue to work hard. Listen, read as much as you can. Knowledge is power, and in the future, your skills and talents will be a gift to the community and to the world. Take care, and I can't wait to see you back at Catskill.
Good morning, Cougars. Happy Monday. In today's tech tip, I'm going to show you how to install an add-on in Google Slides and how to use that add-on to find icons and images. Let's get started. As you can see, I have Google Slides open now, And what I want to do is to install an add-on. An add-on is a little tiny program that you add on to your Google Apps, and it adds on some new feature. So we'll go up to the menu bar where it says Add-ons and click. Come all the way down here to where it says Get Add-ons and click again. And it's going to open up kind of an add-on store. And rather than scrolling through literally thousands of add-ons, we're going to come to the search up here and type in the word icon, I-C-O-N, and then press the return key on your keyboard. It shows us 7 apps that include icon in their names, and the one we want is this first one called Icons for Slides and Docs. Go ahead and click on it, and then click on the install button. It's nice and big and blue, you can't miss it. It's going to ask you to give it permission to continue, so click Continue. It may ask you to verify that you are who you say you are, and then it's going to ask for permission to access your Google account. It's going to install, and it's going to give you some information here about where to find add-ons in your various Google Docs. You can look at this when you're installing, just by scrolling, and when you're ready, click Next, and then click Done. You can go ahead and close the add-ons store, and then going back up to your menu bar, click on Add-ons, and now you can see this very first one here is Icons for Slides and Docs. I just installed that on my computer. I'm going to come over here to Start. When I click Start, look at the right side of my screen, and you can see a new pane has opened up with lots of little icons, lots of little pictures. You can search for icons, which are little tiny pictures of almost anything. Let's say you're writing a cookbook and you want to give a recipe for tacos. Type in the word taco and look at all these taco pictures that pop up. If you're doing a report on whales, you could type in the word whale and hit the return key and look at all these whale pictures that pop up. Maybe you're doing a report on dogs, so you type in dogs and look at all these images of dogs that pop up. Now I want to show you a couple of things here. Look at this first image right here of the man kneeling with the dog. This is called a monocolor image because it's just one color. Look at the second picture right here of the puppy dog's face. This is a color image because it has lots of colors in it. It's full color. And then if you look at the one right below here, do you see that little crown under the picture of the dog food bowl? This is a premium image, which means in order to use it, we would have to pay money. So we're not going to use the images that have crowns under them. We're only going to use the images that don't have crowns under them, such as this one right here or this one right here. I typed in the word dogs right here, and if I move over to this settings button, it lets me choose all the images, just the color images. Notice how the results have changed to just color images or monocolor images. So all these are just the monocolor, the single color images. I'm going to go back to all, and I'm going to begin by choosing this one right here. It's a monocolor image. It shows me the image in black, but I can select a color by clicking on one of these color dots. If I don't like any of these colors, I can click on this rainbow color wheel and I can choose whatever color I want to choose. Maybe I want this kind of magenta color here. When I'm ready, I click on OK. I'm going to click Insert to add it over here to my slide. Notice right now the size is set at 128 pixels wide. That's kind of a medium-sized image. If I click on this drop-down, you can see I can go as small as 16 pixels or as large as 512 pixels. So I'm going to show you the 16 pixel image first by clicking on it and then clicking Insert. And if you look at my slide, do you see it? It's way over here in the corner. It's tiny. I'm going to grab it and I'm going to move it over here to where it says 16 pixels. I'm going to come back over here to the panel on the side of my window and I'm going to choose the largest size, 512 pixels, and again click Insert. And now look how large the image is. Look at that size difference. Now, this one is too big, so I can always grab the corner here and make it smaller to fit on my slide better. I could do the same thing with this tiny one here by clicking on the corner and dragging it out to make it bigger, but watch what happens to it when I release the mouse. Look how blurry it is. That's because this was a very tiny image and we made it bigger, and when you take something small and you make it bigger, it tends to get blurry. Where this is a large photo or large image that I made smaller and it stays nice and crisp and clear. Now if you notice over here there are lots of other sizes. I'm going to let you play with those and decide which size is the best for the project that you're working on. Now the same thing happens with the color images. If I want this picture of the puppy dog, I click on it and I can choose 16 pixels all the way to 512 pixels. Once again, if I choose 16 pixels and click Insert, you're going to see a really tiny little puppy dog face right here. And if I grab the corner and make it bigger, it's very blurry. But if I choose the largest size, click Insert, look how big and sharp and clear that is, and of course I can grab the corner and make it smaller to fit on my slide. I hope that was helpful. Study hard, have fun, and I'll see you next week with another tech tip. Have a great week, everybody.
Hey everybody, it's Mr. Mizuno, your PSW, back again for another Mindful Monday. Now, some of you may have been thinking to yourselves, why do we do Mindful Monday every week? And bottom line, it's just a quick reminder for you to practice your mindfulness regularly. Being mentally strong is really easy when things are going well and you're already calm. You have no problem remembering how to breathe and do your mindful listening and everything else. It's when things are tough is when we really need our mindfulness. When we're starting to get upset because maybe you're at home and arguing with your brother or sister, you're getting frustrated because you can't get onto Zoom. Maybe you're a little bit nervous because you have a test coming up. That's when you really need to be able to use your mindfulness strategies. And it's hard to do when you're stressed out if you haven't practiced it. So when those things happen and you try to use your mindfulness strategies without practicing it, sometimes you get frustrated and you start to feel like it's not working. And then you just give up on doing it at all. But the thing is, we know mindfulness strategies work. I mean, we've seen videos with great performers like LeBron and Kobe talking about their mindfulness strategies. But it's like any other skill. You got to practice it. So think about what you do well, what you enjoy doing. It could be playing basketball, riding your bike, dancing, drawing, even playing video games. Okay, you didn't start those things being an expert. You had to try, and you had to practice. You had to fail. You had to not want to give up, and you had to keep going. And that's how you got good at those things. Okay, mindfulness is the same way. Got to practice. So think about things that you do every day. Brushing your teeth, taking a shower, I hope, eating a meal, going to sleep. And before you do those things today, stop, okay? And take a quick little minute to practice one of your mindfulness strategies. And it could be your box breathing. Okay? It could be just closing your eyes and listening to everything around you. It could be the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding. You guys remember that, right? Okay. Whatever it is that you use when you're calm, try practicing that every day. Okay? It's like anything else. Practice makes perfect. This week, we're going to continue with our theme of feelings by looking at identifying and managing our anger. Okay? Really being able to notice when you're starting to get upset and what different strategies you can use to control your anger a little bit better. But I'm going to turn it over to our buddy, the Mind Yeti, for a quick little clip. Have a good week.
Did you know that a calm brain is a better thinker? It's true. Think about a time when you tried something new and it felt really hard. Did you get frustrated? Maybe even mad? When that happens, your feelings can actually affect your brain. It's normal to have strong feelings. Everyone does. But sometimes they can take over, making it harder to think. but you can learn to help your brain calm down. And that can help you think better. And the good news is that you can get even better at it with practice. That's because your brain is always changing and making new connections. Scientists tell us that doing new things, like breathing to calm down or riding a skateboard, makes those connections or pathways even stronger. And as they get stronger, the faster they get and the better they work. So if something you're learning feels hard at first, just remember to calm your brain and keep practicing. Because little by little, your brain is getting stronger, which means you can do more of the things you want to do.